They tell you they cannot commit. They say they are not ready. They say they do not want a relationship. They say labels feel heavy. They say they do not know what they want. And then they stay. They keep texting. They keep coming back after distance. They keep taking your weekends, your attention, your intimacy, your emotional labor. They want access to you, but they refuse the sentence that would make that access honest. And that is what breaks your nervous system. Because your body feels the bond, but your mind is trapped in ambiguity. Here is the hard truth that will calm you down immediately. When an avoidant says they cannot commit, but they stay, the staying is not confusion. The staying is regulation. They are regulating loneliness, desire, comfort, ego, and nervous system safety through proximity that never becomes accountable. In this episode, I'm going to explain exactly why avoidant attachment does this, why it feels so addictive if you are anxious, how to tell whether there is real capacity underneath the fear, and the one calm standard that forces reality without you chasing. If you stay until the end, you will stop taking mixed signals personally, and you will start reading them accurately. Let's start with the core structure of avoidant attachment. Avoidants are organized around autonomy as safety. They learned early that needing is risky, closeness costs, dependency creates disappointment, and emotions should be handled alone. So they build a life where they can connect but never be trapped. They want intimacy, but they want an escape hatch. And the cleanest escape hatch is a relationship that is not officially a relationship. Because if it is undefined, they can stay without being responsible. They can receive without having to repair. They can enjoy the benefits of being chosen while keeping the power to leave without consequences. Now, many avoidants do not think of it like that. They will say they are being honest, and in their mind, they are. They told you they cannot commit, so they feel morally protected. But what matters is what their behavior is doing to you. And what it is doing to you is bonding you to someone who will not choose you clearly. That is the dynamic we are naming today. Why do they stay then? There are 5 common reasons. The first is comfort and companionship. They like you. They enjoy your energy. They feel calmer around you. They like the routine. They like the way you make their life easier. They just do not want the obligations that come with being accountable to your emotional world. So they keep you close because it feels good, and they avoid commitment because commitment feels like pressure. The second reason is emotional dependency they do not want to admit. Avoidants can bond deeply, but they experience bonding as a threat to their identity, so they will deny it. They will say they do not need anyone, while still reaching for you when they feel dysregulated. They are using you as a regulator, while insisting they are independent. The third reason is control. Not always malicious control, but nervous system control. If the relationship is undefined, they control the pace. They control access. They control the terms. They can give you closeness and then take it away to reset their anxiety. That on and off access gives them power over their own feelings, and it often gives them power over yours. The fourth reason is option keeping. Some people keep a connection warm because it is convenient. They want you available. They may not be choosing you fully, but they do not want to lose you. So they keep you in a gray zone where you cannot demand commitment, but you also do not feel free. The fifth reason is fear of regret. Many avoidants are terrified of choosing wrong. They are terrified of committing and then feeling trapped. So they stay in the middle because the middle avoids the risk of commitment and avoids the pain of loss. The middle feels safer until it destroys the other person's nervous system. Now, let's talk about why this dynamic is so addictive for anxious attachment. Anxious attachment is organized around safety through closeness. So, when an avoidant stays, your body reads it as hope. The staying feels like proof. You tell yourself, if they stay, it must mean something. Then the avoidant withholds commitment, and your nervous system goes into problem-solving mode. You start trying to earn the choice. You become more flexible. You become easier. You stop bringing up your needs. You accept less. And every time they give you a little more, you feel relief. That relief becomes reinforcement. This is how you get hooked. It is not love. It is intermittent reinforcement. It is dopamine and cortisol. It is the cycle of relief and panic. And the reason it feels like love is because your body is bonding under stress. So if you are listening and you feel ashamed, stop. Your brain is doing what brains do. It is trying to restore safety. The question is not whether you are weak. The question is whether the dynamic is safe. Now, the most important part of this episode is the difference between an avoidant who has fear but has capacity and an avoidant who is using limbo as a lifestyle, because those are not the same. Fear with capacity looks like this. They might move slowly, but they move forward. They might be nervous, but they can have the conversation without punishing you. They may not love labels, but they will offer clarity in another form, like exclusivity, consistency, future plans, and repair. Limbo as a lifestyle looks like this. Every time you ask for clarity, they shut down, disappear, get defensive, or give you vague promises that never turn into behavior. They keep your access high and your security low. They accept partner-level benefits without partner-level agreement. They want you close, but not close enough to require them to show up. Here is the simplest way to tell the difference. Look at what happens after you set one calm standard. Not a pleading conversation, a standard. A standard sounds like this. I like you, and I enjoy being with you. I am not asking for intensity. I am asking for alignment. If we are spending time like partners, I need us to be on the same page, and I need consistency that matches it. If you are not available for that, I respect it, but I will step back. Then you stop talking, because anxious attachment wants to keep explaining until it feels safe. But safety will not come from more words. It will come from their response. Now, let's predict the possible responses so you are not blindsided. Response 1 is the green flag response. They might not say perfect words, but they will offer something concrete. They will say they want you, and they will show it with behavior. They will become more consistent. They will initiate. They will plan. They will repair after distance. They will be willing to define the connection in a way that makes you feel chosen. Response 2 is the stall. They will say, you mean a lot. They will say, they do not want to lose you. They will say, soon. They will say, later. They will say, they are trying. But nothing changes. This is not confusion. This is comfort. They want the benefits, and they do not want the responsibility. Response 3 is defensiveness. They will accuse you of pressure. They will say, you are trying to control them. They will say, labels do not matter. When someone says labels do not matter while they are enjoying relationship benefits, what they often mean is accountability does not matter, and you do not debate them. You repeat your standard calmly. I hear you. I am not trying to control you. I am telling you what I am available for. Then you act accordingly. Response 4 is disappearance. If they vanish after a calm standard, that is data. It means they cannot tolerate relational reality. And yes, it will hurt, but it will also free you from the loop. Now, let's talk about the thing that keeps you stuck, even when you know the truth. Many people think the solution is to become lower maintenance, so the avoidant will choose them. But when you accept a relationship without commitment, you are not being easygoing. You are training the other person that you will stay without being chosen. You are rewarding limbo. And limbo is not neutral. Limbo is a structure that benefits the person who gets access without accountability. If you want the dynamic to change, you must change what you reward. The rule is simple. Do not give partner-level access in a connection that refuses partner-level clarity. That does not mean you become cold. It means you become congruent. If you are not in a defined connection, you do not do partner behaviors that bond you deeper, like constant availability, sleepovers, deep emotional caretaking, or treating their life like it is yours to manage. You keep warmth, but you reduce access. And then you watch what happens. If they value you, they will feel the shift and move toward you. If they only valued the benefits, they will fade. Either way, you win because reality arrives. Now, I want to add the part that makes everything click, because this is the part that keeps people trapped for months or years. The avoidant staying is not one behavior. It is a pattern of micro-choices that keeps you attached while keeping them safe. They will often give you commitment-coded behavior without commitment-coded language. They will act proprietary but refuse responsibility. They will want exclusivity when it benefits them, but call you intense when you want clarity. They will lean on you when they are stressed, but vanish when you need steadiness. This is why it feels like whiplash, because the relationship contains intimacy, but not protection. And intimacy without protection is what creates anxious obsession. Your nervous system cannot relax because there is no stable container. So it starts doing a job it was never meant to do. It starts interpreting. It starts forecasting. It starts trying to predict the next withdrawal so you can brace for pain. That hypervigilance feels like love because your attention is glued to them, but what it actually is your body trying to prevent abandonment. Now, here is the mechanism inside the avoidant system that makes them stay. Staying lets them keep a tether without fully entering. And a tether does something important for an avoidant. It lowers their internal anxiety. Avoidants often do not feel anxiety as anxiety. They feel it as restlessness, irritation, numbness, or a sudden need for space. A tether gives them a sense of connection on their terms. It calms loneliness without triggering the full threat of dependency. So, they keep the tether. But the tether is not fair to you if you are bonding, because your system does not bond through tethers. Your system bonds through security. Now, let's talk about the two different kinds of staying, because this is where the analysis becomes useful instead of confusing. There is staying that is oriented toward building, and there is staying that is oriented toward regulating. Building staying looks like forward motion, even if slow. More integration over time, more consistency over time, less disappearing over time, more repair over time. They do not just return, they also improve. Regulating staying looks like a loop. Closeness, withdrawal, return, reset. They come back exactly as they left. Same excuses, same uncertainty, same avoidance of future, same resistance to being chosen. The reason this matters is because anxious people mistake the return for progress. They think, they came back, so it is getting better. But returning is not building. Returning is maintaining access. Building requires change. Now, here is the ear-grabbing truth that will save you time. If someone says they cannot commit, believe the sentence, not the closeness. Closeness is easy. Choice is hard. A person can be affectionate and still not choose you. A person can stay attached and still not build with you. So, your nervous system has to learn one new language. It has to stop reading chemistry as commitment. It has to start reading patterns as truth. Now, I want to address something that sounds harsh but is deeply stabilizing. Many avoidants stay because you make their life better, not because they are prepared to make your life safer. They like the benefits: emotional support, sex, companionship, attention, stability, validation, someone who sees them. But when it comes to giving you what your system needs, they avoid it because it costs them autonomy. So the question becomes, is this relationship mutual, or is it a one-way regulation arrangement? Mutual means your nervous system gets steadier over time. One-way regulation means your nervous system gets more anxious over time. Now, I want you to imagine something. Imagine you stop doing extra, not in a punitive way, in a congruent way. You do not initiate as much. You do not fill silence. You do not smooth over the awkward moments. You do not rescue the plans. You do not offer partner benefits when you are not being chosen. What happens next is the truth. If they have real capacity and real interest, they will move toward you. They will feel the distance, and they will choose you more clearly. If they were only using you as a regulator, they will not step up. They will either disappear, or they will offer you just enough to pull you back into the loop. That is why standards work. Standards do not control them. Standards reveal them. Now, let's talk about the exact moment anxious people relapse. The avoidant withdraws. You set a boundary. You pull back. And then they return with warmth. They act sweet. They act tender. They say they miss you. They make you feel chosen for a moment, and your nervous system floods with relief. This is the moment most people collapse back into full access, and that collapse trains the cycle. Because it teaches the avoidant, I can keep you without changing. I can disappear, return, and still get full access. So if you want to keep momentum in this dynamic, you need one principle: warmth without instant access. You respond kindly, but you do not resume partner behaviors until there is partner clarity. You let consistency rebuild trust before you give deep access again. That is not a game. That is self-respect. That is nervous system safety. Now, I want to give you a clean, simple calibration that viewers can actually use without it sounding like a checklist. When someone stays while saying they cannot commit, ask yourself this: are they creating more safety in my life or more uncertainty? Are they making my nervous system steadier or more alert? Are they moving forward in behavior or staying in the same loop? Those questions cut through every excuse. Now, another reason avoidants stay is something people do not talk about. They want to be the good person. They want to avoid guilt. They do not want to be the villain who leaves. So they stay in proximity, and tell themselves they are being kind. But what they are really doing is outsourcing the ending to you. They keep you close, but they do not choose you. They keep the comfort, but they avoid the responsibility. And they wait for you to get tired enough to leave so they can say, "It just did not work." That is why you feel crazy, because you are waiting for them to do the honest thing, and they are waiting for you to do the painful thing. Your standard interrupts that silent deal. It forces the truth into the room. Now, I want to give you a reality check that is deeply calming. In secure dynamics, the clarity conversation does not create a crisis. It creates a deeper exhale. A secure person might still move slowly, but they do not punish you for clarity. They do not deny reality. They do not make you feel embarrassing for wanting to know where you stand. They might say, "I want to keep building. I want to be exclusive. I am not ready for big steps yet, but I am choosing you." That sentence is what your nervous system needs. Choosing. Not vibes, not moments, not chemistry. Choosing. So, if your clarity request triggers a collapse, the collapse is data. It tells you the container they want is not a relationship. It is a flexible access arrangement, and you are allowed to opt out. Now, here is the part that makes you magnetic instead of anxious. When you set the standard, you do not chase the outcome. You let them come to you. And you do not do it in a cold way. You keep warmth, but you remove overfunctioning. You stop being the one who plans everything. You stop being the one who rescues the connection. You stop being the one who smooths every rupture. You let their capacity show itself. Because the most painful truth is that many people are not confused. They are comfortable. They are comfortable with your presence, your intimacy, your emotional labor, and the way you make their life easier, while still not being willing to carry the responsibility of choosing you. Your standard interrupts comfort, and that is why it works. It forces reality, and reality is what your nervous system has been begging for. Now let's close with a calm but powerful framework you can carry. If they stay while saying they cannot commit, remember this. Staying is not commitment. Staying can be attachment, comfort, convenience, or regulation. The only thing that makes staying safe is choice and consistency. Your desire for clarity is normal and healthy. You do not chase clarity. You set a standard once, calmly, and you observe behavior. If they cannot meet the standard, you step back and remove partner access, not to punish, but to protect. And if they come toward you with consistency and repair, you allow the relationship to grow. If they do not, you do not stay in limbo hoping it becomes something. You leave with dignity, and you let your nervous system recover. Because the right person will not make you argue for reality. The right person will not need you to shrink your needs so they can stay comfortable. The right person can handle the sentence, "What are we?" And if they cannot handle that sentence, they are not ready to hold your heart. Welcome to PsychBond. You're safe here.